Jaspers received one electoral vote from a faithless elector in Virginia, marking the first and only time a Libertarian candidate has received an electoral vote. 1980 presidential election. Ed Clark, with running mate David Koch, represented the Libertarian Party. This was a significant campaign as it brought substantial attention and resources. David Koch's financial backing helped the campaign reach a broader audience, resulting in over 900,000 votes, about 1% of the popular vote. 1988 presidential election, former Republican Congressman Ron Paul ran as the Libertarian candidate, with Andre Maru as his running mate. Paul's campaign emphasized limited government, personal freedom, and non-interventionist foreign policy, receiving over 400,000 votes. 1996 and 2000 presidential elections. Harry Brown was the Libertarian candidate for both elections, running on a platform of reducing government size, cutting taxes, and ending the drug war. His campaigns helped solidify the Libertarian message and principles. 2004 presidential election, Michael Badnarik ran as the Libertarian candidate, focusing on constitutionalism and individual liberties. Despite limited resources, he managed to gain around 397,000 votes. 2008 and 2012 presidential elections, Bob Barr, 2008, and Gary Johnson, 2012, were the candidates. Johnson, a former governor of New Mexico, brought more visibility to the party, advocating for fiscal conservatism and social liberalism. In 2012, Johnson received over 1.2 million votes. 2016 and 2020 presidential elections. Gary Johnson ran again in 2016 with Bill Weld as his running mate, achieving the highest vote total for a Libertarian candidate, over 4 million votes, or about 3.3% of the popular vote. In 2020, Jo Jorgensen was the candidate, continuing the party's focus on individual freedom and limited government, receiving over 1.8 million votes. The Libertarian Party's involvement in presidential elections has consistently promoted its core principles of minimal government interference, personal liberty, and free markets. While not yet winning the presidency, the party has influenced political discourse and provided an alternative to the major parties.
Why don't you remind people who Bob Barr is? Because he's going to come up again in a second. So, who's Bob Barr?
Bob Barr is a significant figure in American politics with a diverse and influential career. Here's a bit about him. Early life and career. Born on November 5, 1948 in Iowa City, Iowa, Bob Barr served as a U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Georgia from 1986 to 1990. He gained national prominence during his tenure in Congress as a Republican representative from Georgia's 7th Congressional District, serving from 1995 to 2003. Congressional career. Barr was known for his strong conservative views and was a prominent figure in the impeachment proceedings against President Bill Clinton. His efforts in Congress were characterized by a focus on reducing government size, upholding conservative social values, and advocating for gun rights and drug policy reform. Shift to libertarianism. After leaving Congress, Barr's political views evolved, leading him to join the Libertarian Party in 2006. This shift was driven by his growing disillusionment with the Republican Party's stance on civil liberties and government overreach. He became a vocal advocate for individual freedoms and limited government, aligning more closely with libertarian principles. 2008 presidential election, Barr was the Libertarian Party's presidential candidate in 2008, with Wayne Allen Root as his running mate. His campaign emphasized reducing federal government size, protecting civil liberties, and ending the war on drugs. While his bid for the presidency did not result in a win, it helped raise the Libertarian Party's profile and highlighted key issues related to personal liberty and government accountability. Post-election activities. After his presidential run, Barr continued to be active in politics and public policy. He has written extensively on civil liberties, privacy rights, and government overreach, maintaining a presence in political commentary and advocacy. Bob Barr's journey from a conservative Republican congressman to a libertarian presidential candidate reflects his commitment to principles of limited government and individual freedoms. His involvement in politics and advocacy continues to influence discussions on civil liberties and government reform.
So recently he won something at the NRA. Why don't you talk about that? The NRA had a meeting out in Dallas, and this is an important time for the NRA, right? And talk about what he won.
Recently, Bob Barr was elected as the president of the National Rifle Association, NRA, during their 153rd annual meetings and exhibits held in Dallas, Texas. This event was significant for the NRA, which is navigating through challenging times. Over 72,000 NRA members attended the convention, making it one of the largest gatherings in the organization's history. Barr's election is notable given his extensive background in politics and advocacy. As the new NRA president, he has pledged to focus on expanding the NRA's membership and vigorously defending Second Amendment rights. His leadership is seen as a critical step for the NRA as it seeks to strengthen its influence and navigate internal and external challenges. The convention also saw other leadership changes, with Doug Hamlin being elected as the NRA's executive vice president and CEO. The meeting featured a keynote address from former President Donald Trump, who accepted the NRA's endorsement for his re-election campaign.
So, did Trump say anything interesting, or I dare say controversial, at the NRA?
At the recent NRA convention in Dallas, former President Donald Trump made headlines with a few notable and controversial remarks. One of the more striking moments was when he floated the idea of serving a third term, despite it being unconstitutional. He referenced Franklin D. Roosevelt's 4 terms, joking about the possibility of serving 3 terms himself, which some in the audience enthusiastically supported. Trump's speech also included strong endorsements of gun rights and criticism of President Joe Biden's gun control measures. He emphasized the importance of the Second Amendment and urged NRA members to vote in the upcoming election to protect their rights. Trump rallied the attendees by stating, "Let's be rebellious and vote this time," calling on gun owners to turn out in large numbers. Additionally, Trump used the platform to address his ongoing legal battles and to criticize the current administration's policies on various fronts, including immigration and foreign policy. His appearance and the NRA's endorsement come at a crucial time for both Trump and the NRA as they face significant legal and financial challenges.
What are financial challenges the NRA is facing? Why is that?
The NRA is currently facing significant financial challenges, primarily due to legal expenses and declining membership revenues. The organization has spent over $100 million on legal fees in response to various lawsuits and allegations of financial misconduct involving its top executives, including former CEO Wayne LaPierre. These legal battles have strained the NRA's finances, leading to budget shortfalls and cuts in key programs such as education and gun safety training. Membership revenue has also decreased, exacerbating the financial strain. The NRA has lost a substantial number of members since allegations of corruption surfaced, further impacting its income. This decline in revenue has forced the organization to borrow money to cover its expenses, leading to a cycle of financial instability. Despite these challenges, the NRA remains a powerful entity in American politics, particularly in the realm of gun rights advocacy. However, it faces a tough road ahead as it tries to navigate these financial difficulties while continuing to influence gun policy and support political candidates.
Now, I know that the NRA's kind of got some competition. So talk about NAGR, the National Association for Gun Rights.
The National Association for Gun Rights is an influential organization in the gun rights movement, known for its strict, no compromise stance on Second Amendment issues. Founded as an alternative to the NRA, NEGER has rapidly expanded its membership to over 4.5 million activists. It actively opposes gun control measures and promotes policies like constitutional